Hello and welcome to the latest health and wellbeing webinar from the Asthma UK and British Lung Foundation partnership. For this series of webinars, we've reached out far and wide to find experts who've kindly volunteered their time, and their aim is to help us to help you keep your mind, body and soul active during these strange times. To help you get the most out of today's session, please make sure you're watching on a device you can easily see and hear, such as a laptop, a tablet or a mobile phone. Today I'm delighted to welcome back Jo Hathaway, who was so happy with how her recent Pilates sessions were received by you all that she's kindly volunteered to run another session for us all today. For those who haven't met Jo before, she has a personal connection to the Asthma UK and British Lung Foundation partnership as she has asthma herself. Jo is a qualified Pilates teacher and has lots of experience working with clients who have respiratory conditions. I've been reliably informed that today's session should be suitable for most people with asthma or another lung condition, as Jo has designed today's Pilates-style workout to be undertaken from the comfort of a chair. So I really hope that many of you will be easily able to join in. That said, if you do have asthma and you're planning to take part in today's session, please do ensure you keep your reliever inhaler close by and take things at your own pace. And please remember, if you do have asthma, please do not stop taking your preventer inhaler as prescribed, even if you think something like Pilates is doing your asthma good. I really hope that you'll enjoy Jo's session today. And here at the partnership, it's our aim that everyone who attends our webinars finds them fun and useful. And if you've missed any of our previous webinars, you can now find them all at asthma.org.uk/webinars. To make sure you don't miss out on any future webinars or the latest news from the partnership, please be sure to follow Asthma UK on Facebook or Twitter if you have asthma, or follow the British Lung Foundation on Facebook or Twitter if you have another lung condition. Now, before we go any further, as always, there are a few things I need to make you aware of. Just so you know, today's webinar has been pre-recorded. However, we do have a chat function enabled and we'd love you to say hello. Remember though, this is a family-friendly environment, so when chatting, do please be nice. The chat is of course moderated, but if you have any medical questions, please be aware our moderators are unable to answer these as they have no medical training. Also, don't worry if you miss anything today either, because you'll receive an email over the next day or so giving you the opportunity to replay today's session. I'd also like to take this chance to remind everyone that as a charity, the Asthma UK and British Lung Foundation partnership is committed to trying to keep everyone with a lung condition safe and well. But we can only do this with your support. So if you do find this webinar useful, please consider donating just £5 after the session. Your support will help us to continue providing life-changing services for everyone with a lung condition. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to hand you over once again to Jo for today's webinar.
Hi everybody, I'm Jo from Total Precision Pilates. I'm a Pilates teacher and exercise specialist in chronic respiratory disease. I also have a personal connection to respiratory conditions as I have asthma and I have bronchiectasis. Now, I'm delighted to be here with you today. I'm going to show you a seated and standing Pilates-based session. We are going to use a couple of bits of equipment. So I have a rolled hand towel here and I also have an exercise band. It doesn't matter if you don't have one of these, you can just use a scarf or you could even use the rolled towel that we're going to use. We're going to pop these down for the moment. We don't need them straight away. We are going to start seated in the middle of your chair, so we're not slouching back, we are sitting nice and upright on top of those bottom cheeks. Your feet are hip width apart and parallel and they are flat on the floor. Start sitting nice and tall so we can have a little sense of an abdominal zip. So think of zipping up some slightly tight trousers and that will help to support your spine and your pelvis through some of the exercises. We're going to start with some shoulder shrugs. You're going to lift the shoulders up towards your ears and then just allow them to fall away from the ears. Reach them up, slide the shoulder blades up the back and then slide them back down again. Good, let's do a couple more. So we're lifting up and sliding down. Let's do one more, sliding up and sliding down. We're now going to take that into shoulder circles. So drawing the shoulders forwards, bring them up to the ears, press them back and slide them down. Forwards, up, back and down. And just let the arms hang from your shoulder sockets. They're just dropping down by the sides of your body. Good. Very nice. Let's go the other way. We go back, up, forwards and down. Back, up, forwards and down. Try not to move the body. Make sure we isolate the shoulders. Good. Let's do one more. Very nice, well done. Let's go on to some head turns. So we start to mobilize the neck a little bit. Going to turn the head to the right and then through to the center and then across to the left and center and to the right and center and left and center. Good, well done. Now let's just try to go a little bit further if you can, but don't force it. We just see if we've got a little bit more movement with each head turn. Let's do 2 more. Good, very nice. Excellent. Good. So from here, we're now going to think about opening up the back of the rib cage. We're going to do some seated roll downs. We breathe in to prepare. And as we breathe out, just nod your chin slightly. Allow your chest to soften. Allow the front ribs to close. But as we do this, the back ribs open. We just go as far as we can, so don't force it. You're moving the spine forwards over the legs. And while you're down there, you can think of breathing in and breathing into those low back ribs. Breathing out, we restack the spine from the base all the way up to the top. I'm going to face this way so you can see me. So we're sitting nice and tall, lifting up, we nod the chin, melt the chest, and you see as the front of my body closes, the back of my body opens. We peel over the legs. You go as far as you can do. It doesn't matter if you touch the floor or you don't touch the floor. And then we roll back up. Very nice. Let's go again, everybody. Breathing into those back ribs, nice and low. We nod the chin and we breathe out as we peel forward and really try to get that full exhalation. And then peeling back up again when you're ready. Good. Well done, everybody. Very nice. From here, we're going to do a hip hinge. This starts to mobilize your hip joints and we're going to really stabilize our spine again by using that abdominal zip. So sitting nice and tall, again, mid-chair, not slouching down at the back. Sit upright on top of your bottom cheeks, hands on your hips, and we hinge the body forwards. And we lift upright. And we hinge the body forwards. And we lift upright. So I'm going to show you facing this way. We're going to hinge the body forwards, trying not to collapse through the spine and lifting back up again. So again, it doesn't matter how far you go. You just go as far as you can go without shifting your spine. We don't want disco ribs or disco pelvis. Sitting nice and tall on your sit bones, folding at your hip joints, and lifting back up again. Well done. Very, very nice, everybody. Now we're going to look at some leg strength. We're going to work the muscles around the hips. So we're going to take your folded towel to begin with. I've rolled mine and I'm going to place it in between my mid thighs. So it's not between my knees, it's through my thighs. I'm going to breathe in to prepare, and as we breathe out, squeeze the towel and release. Now, depending on how big the towel is, how fat the towel is when it's rolled, you might just need to bring your feet a little bit closer together. I do because I've got a fairly small towel here. So we're going to squeeze the thigh bones and then release. Squeeze the thigh bones and release. And again, squeeze and release. Now we're trying not to move the body. Again, we're sitting up on top of those bottom cheeks, nice and tall, feeling the lift through the spine and the crown of the head lengthening towards the ceiling. Now, this exercise and the next 2 exercises, we're only going to do a few today, but they're really good ones to remember, and try to do 3 sets of 10. If you can, you could try and do that every day or maybe every other day. It'd be really useful for you. So sitting nice and tall, squeeze and release. Let's do one more, squeeze and release. Good. So we're going to move the towel for now. We're going to do some thigh lifts. So again, now we're working into our hips and our thighs. Now this is a little bit tricky. You might want to move around on your chair a little bit, so try and stay as still as we can. We're going to fold the hip joint, so you lift your thigh very slightly off the chair, not too high, and then lower back down. And we'll do another 3 on this leg. And you might feel yourself want to dip down into that hip. Try not to, stay nice and tall. And you might just want to use those hands for a little bit of support on the corner of the chair. I've lost count, so we'll do one more. Good. Very nice. Let's do 4 on the other leg. So we lift the thigh, try to keep the spine stable. So as you can see, it's not a very big lift. If I lift too high, my body's going to react. Let's do 2 more. Good. Doing a great job, everybody. Well done. Very nice. So moving on to the next leg exercise, we're going to slide the foot forward so we straighten the knee. I'm not trying to lift the leg off the chair, I'm literally just straightening the knee, and then we bend the knee and slide the foot back into the start position. And again, straighten the knee, pressing the foot forward. We're really working the front of the thigh here, and then draw the leg back in. Let's do 2 more, sliding that foot forwards. Just relax your foot. Don't need to point or flex, just focus on what's happening through the leg. Reach the foot away, stretching the knee and bringing that leg back underneath you. Good, well done. Let's do the other side. So we straighten the left leg, straighten the knee, drawing up that thigh and draw the foot back underneath you into the start position. And again, sliding the foot forwards. Remember, we're sitting nice and tall. We're trying not to drop. We're working all our postural muscles around the front, sides and back of the body. So need to lift nice and tall. Keep thinking head to the ceiling. That will help you. 2 more. Finding that lift through the tummy. That will also help to support you. You're nearly there. You've got 1 more. Good. Very, very nice, everybody. Excellent. Let's start to mobilize the spine a little bit. So we're now going to look at some rotation of the spine, which will really help to get these ribs and the spine mobilizing, which sometimes can make it feel a little bit easier to breathe when we don't feel so tight around these ribs. Let's fold the arms in front of you so they're just below shoulder height, one arm on top of the other. Let's begin by turning the head. So we turn the head round the corner, we follow with the shoulders and the chest and the rib cage and the waist, and you just go to where you can go, don't force it, and then come back to the center. We do the same the other way around. We turn the head, the shoulders, the chest, the rib cage, the waist. You're sitting up nice and tall, try not to lean, and then we come back from your waist, your ribs, chest, neck and head. And again, head, neck, rib cage, round the corner, waist, lifting nice and tall, and back to center. Good. And round from the top of the head, down the body. And then you return from the middle through to the top. Well done. Very nice. Let's now go into a side reach exercise. So this really focuses on these side ribs opening. So really nice to get that side body moving. Let's bring one hand behind the head. You're going to just gently press your head into your hand and your elbow is slightly forwards in your peripheral vision. Going to place the other hand just on the corner of your chair. We're going to lead with the ear. We go ear and then again the shoulders and the rib cage. And you can think of trying to point this elbow up to the ceiling. It probably won't quite get there because I don't want you to shorten on this waist and also lean to that side. It's very much a lifting action and then come back to the center. Good. Let's do 1 more in this direction. So we're going up and over, lifting, 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 and back to the center. Well done. Let's try the other arm. So bring this one down, bring the hand behind the head, just gently press your head into your hand. Your elbow is in your peripheral vision. And we start by leading with the ear and then the shoulders and then the rib cage. And we're really aiming to open these side ribs and then come back to center. Good. And again. Good, well done everybody. Now if you struggle with that arm movement, we can do this exercise with a slightly different arm position. So if you feel reaching the elbow up to the ceiling is a little bit too much at the moment, you can cross the arms over the chest. We can still get the benefit of the exercise, opening the ribs and mobilizing the spine, but it may not feel like so much of a stretch through your shoulder. Good, very nice. Well done everybody. Excellent. So from there, I'm going to keep my arms in this position and we're going to do some spinal extension, which is great to get you strong in between your shoulder blades and down the back of the body, and also helps to open out the front of the body, especially if you're somebody who gets quite tight through your chest with your breathing difficulties. This is really nice to open up the chest and help to relieve that tightness. So let's cross the arms over the chest. I'll show you this in 2 different directions. Let's start by lifting the chin ever so slightly. We're not looking up, you're just slightly lifting your eye line up the wall. From there, we're going to lift your collarbones and your chest, and we're going up, 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 up to the ceiling. Now, I'm not leaning back, which you will see when I swap over to the face the other direction for you. So it's very much a lift up rather than a push back. So we lift the chin, we lift the chest, and we go up, 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 up. And we return. I'm going to show you facing this way now. So again, make sure your feet are nicely planted. The arms are crossed over the body. We lift the chin very slightly. Now think of going up. So you're opening the front of your body. You're opening your chest. You may feel the connection very slightly in between your shoulder blades, and then return. So I'm not doing this. I'm not swinging back on my chair. Tempting, but we're not allowed to do that. So lift the chin, lift the chest, and go up, 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 up. Nice opening through the chest, nice stretch. And then return. I think we'll do one more of these, everybody, because this is a really important exercise for us all. Lift those chests. Again, don't drop your head. Keep it in line with your spine. And then return. Very good. Well done, everybody. So now we come to the exercise band. This is a breathing exercise. It's one of my favorites. It's really, really useful. Again, when we have respiratory conditions, we might start to have a little bit of anxiety or breathlessness, and we start to breathe up into our neck and shoulders. Now, it's really important, if we can, to help calm us down and to get a better breath pattern, to come down into your lower rib cage. So this is going to give you feedback to help you come down into your low rib cage. So we wrap the band around your ribs. Again, you could use a scarf, you could use the towel that we used earlier. You're going to cross the band in front of your ribs and just hold the ends very gently. Now just start breathing normally and just notice the feeling of the band around the ribs. So we're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And now just start to notice where that band is, and I want you to think of directing your breath into the band. So we're breathing low in the body, down into the bottom of the rib cage, into the bottom of the lungs, breathing through the front, the side and the back of the ribs. Try not to let the shoulders switch on because they might be tempted. And then breathing out. And as we breathe out, you could just pull the band a little bit just to increase the tension, which will give you a little bit more feedback. And then we breathe into that tension. And if it's too much to use the tension at the moment, don't. Just use the band for feedback. And eventually, as you practice, then you might be able to just add that little pull in when it's time. Off we go again. Don't force yourself to do anything that's not comfortable. Good. And again. You really feel that movement, the 360-degree movement of the rib cage around the body. One more for luck. Good. Well done, everybody. So now we're going to come up to standing and do a little footwork exercise, some rises. If you would prefer to stay seated, you're very welcome to, and you can continue with the scarf breathing exercise. Okay, everybody, so now we're in standing, we're going to do some rises. These are great for ankle and foot mobilization and strength. They're also a great circulation booster and also really challenge our balance. And that's why I've got the chair here. So if you do need a little bit of support here, please do use the chair. Make sure you stay safe. And if you prefer not to stand, you can keep doing your scarf breathing exercise sitting in the chair. I'm going to face this way so you can see what I'm doing. We'll stand with the legs and feet hip width apart and parallel, and you'll find your abdominal connection. Just think of that slight zip of the tight trousers to help you support your spine. And we're going to lift up onto the balls of the feet. So just lifting the heels up halfway. Don't come up too high to begin with. And then lower the heels down again. Let's rise halfway and lower back down. And keep lifting up through the crown of the head. So we're growing nice and tall, halfway up and then all the way down. Good, well done. We're going to add a little extra challenge if you wish to now. So we'll rise halfway and then we're going to come all the way up, a little bit higher if you can. And then we roll down the feet to halfway point and then we lower the heels. Let's go again. We're rising up halfway. We go all the way to the top of your movement. We lower the heels, so don't push it too far. Just go to where you can go and then all the way down. Let's go again. We're rising up halfway, all the way up, lifting through the body. Lower the heels halfway and all the way down. Again, halfway, all the way up, halfway down, all the way down. Good, I'll face you for another couple. So remembering, hip width apart, standing nice and tall, rising up halfway, all the way up, halfway down, all the way down. You've got one more, rising up, feeling nice and tall, lowering halfway down, and all the way down. Excellent work, everybody. Really, really well done. And I hope that was helpful.
Thank you so much, Joe. And thank you for today's session. And to all of you at home who joined us today, thank you so much for watching. We really hope that you enjoyed today's webinar. Remember to check out Joe's website, totalprecisionpilates.com, for more information about her online classes and for links to her Twitter and Instagram. If you'd like to repeat Joe's webinar, please remember to keep your eyes peeled for an email over the next day or so, which will give you a link to replay the webinar. And please do remember that as a charity, the Asthma UK and British Lung Foundation partnership relies on the kind and generous support of people like you to enable us to continue providing our life-changing and sometimes life-saving services and advice for people with lung conditions. So please do think about making a small donation of just £5 today to help us to continue this vital work. Remember to visit asthma.org.uk/helpline or blf.org.uk/helpline for information on how you can contact our friendly helpline teams too. I hope to see you all again at another session soon, so please do keep your eyes peeled for information about upcoming webinars. So on behalf of myself and everyone here at Asthma UK and the British Lung Foundation partnership, stay safe and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.